Hi, I'm Carly, and this is the High Country Homesteading YouTube channel. And I wanted to do something a little bit different today. It's the year anniversary of starting the YouTube channel, and I recently came across a video by a girl named Camilla Ray. And she was so sweet and sincere in her video, and it was about how YouTube changed her life. And the video was unique in that she made the video when she only had 200 subscribers. So we're not talking the typical video that you usually hear about YouTube changed my life because now it's monetized, or you have so many followers, or you're getting all of this ad revenue and things like that. She was talking about how even though she had a small following, like I do as well, how YouTube has actually changed her life in real life. So the way that she has now run her career, or the trips she takes, or just the way that she conducts herself, the confidence that she has. It's a very, very sweet and sincere video, so I will leave it in the description box. But honestly, while watching it, it made me think about my journey for the past year on YouTube and how I feel like, when I really think about it, I have been completely successful in why I wanted to start it. So I wanted to share that with you because it was a really nice revelation that I had, and it really inspired me to share why I started doing this as well. So I'll take you back to about a year ago. I launched this YouTube channel. I was sitting out on my porch. It was a much warmer day than it is today. It's really cold and blustery outside, so I'm sitting inside today. But I had no idea what I was doing. And I'm gonna go into some reasons why I started the YouTube channel. My channel is about doing things for the first time. So beginner homesteading, beginner cooking, gardening, chicken raising, all that good stuff. Those are all things that I had either slowly been recently trying to learn or had never learned how to do at all. And me personally, I'm a mom of 2 little ones. I'm a wife. I am a primary breadwinner, so full-time job. Have had one for a long time. And I have honestly just been working so hard in making sure that everybody else is happy and content and cared for, that it's been a long time since I've done things for myself. I used to have a creative side. When I was younger, I used to do a lot of creative writing. I love to do art. I love to read books, and I have not read a book or done anything like that in a really long time. I have this thing in me where if I have any little bit of free time, I never can feel like I can use it just for myself. I never feel like I can enjoy a fiction book, or I can do an adult coloring page or something just soothing that doesn't really add to my life in any other way except that it's fun and I enjoy it. And I know that that's a really healthy thing to do, but whenever I do have a little bit of time, probably after my kids have gone to bed in the evenings, I always feel like I need to be bettering myself in some way. Like I need to be taking a class or learning a new skill that I could be using towards something. Or I need to be figuring out a side hustle so I can continue providing more and more for my family. And I can never just be and do something that I enjoy. And I knew that I really wanted to become a homesteader. It's something that I desire. I try to live a little bit of a slower paced life. It's a little easy for us because we have little ones, so they're not so involved in a bunch of activities, and we're not a go, go, go type family. We're very much a homebody family. So it's something that I want, but I hadn't started yet. So I knew that I felt like it was time that I needed to do something creative. And I also knew that I needed some kind of motivation. And the things that I combined to make those two was, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, and I'm going to do something every week so that I make myself learn these skills and perform these skills so that I will actually do them. So that's how the High Country Homesteading YouTube channel came to be, because I knew I needed some kind of weekly motivation that would actually make me do the garden, get the chickens, make the chicken coop, and cook all the things that I want to cook. I'm a very introverted person. Like I said, I'm a homebody. I'm home 24/7. I prefer it that way, and I need a lot of quality alone time. I know when we talk about quality time, we're usually talking about with other people, but when you're introverted, you need a lot of quality alone time to charge up those batteries, and I need a lot in order to feel like I have any ounce of energy. I'm a really low energy person. I think it comes across in my videos how low energy I am. Hopefully it's not on the boring side, it's more on the soothing side, but you know, it is what it is. But I don't have a lot of energy and I need a lot of alone time to do so. And so when I'm at home and I'm not working and I'm trying to work on these skills, it's gotta be something that's just for me. So that's how High Country Homesteading YouTube channel came about. And I started doing these things. And honestly, now looking back over a year, I've accomplished so much that I set out to do, and I feel really proud of myself. I stuck to it. I think I missed 1 or 2 weeks throughout the whole year of uploading a video, and I'm super proud about that. I didn't know anything about editing videos. I'd worked in social media in the past, but for other platforms way before video became super popular. And it was mostly just about pictures and captions. So editing videos and putting up videos, and especially talking to people, is not my forte whatsoever. But I am proud of where I've come from, and right now I have about 660 subscribers. So I feel like Camilla's video really resonated with me because it's not about getting the subscribers, and it wasn't about trying to monetize my channel as fast as I could. It was about making sure that I had the motivation to start doing the things in my life that I wanted to do. And she really helped me realize that now that it's been a year later. So I want to share some of the things that I've been able to do and that YouTube's given me the motivation to do it. And I hope sharing some of the things with you will help you get that motivation too, if that's something that you're looking for. So this time last year, I started my YouTube channel in October, and I didn't have a chicken coop. I had never raised chickens before. I barely had any kitchen utensils that I'm using now, and so a lot of things have changed. So let's start with chickens. In January, my husband Marshall and I started on our chicken coop, and we built a chicken coop completely from scratch. We have a whole series playlist about it, and it's honestly beautiful and it's working beautifully, and we're super proud of ourselves. We're not new to building things, so that wasn't really the challenge, but we had never built a chicken coop and we had never raised chickens. And so in February, we got our very first baby chicks, and we built a brooder, took care of them. And then in April, we got a few more baby chicks, took care of them as well. And it's honestly been a really nice, seamless, and positive experience. So I'm really proud of myself for that. And now, fast forward to October, majority of our chickens are laying. We just have one chicken who's not laying yet, and we're collecting eggs every day, and the kids are involved. And that's just been a huge change in my life that I honestly never saw happening before, not until we moved to the country and we had some land and we're able to do that. And now my kids collect chickens every day and feed them treats. And it's something really beautiful that I'm so happy that I've added to my life. But without the motivation and the checks that I gave myself of making sure that I posted a YouTube video every week, I don't know if any of that would have gotten done, if we would have pulled the trigger on buying the chicks way back in January. We clicked purchase. So, I mean, that's one of the main reasons that I'm really happy that I started this. The garden was another huge change for us this year. We built an entire garden from scratch. It's 1,800 square feet. We put in 6 new raised beds, 12-foot long raised beds. We have cattle panel arches. I added some green stalks. We added some in-ground spaces. And so 1,800 square feet is a large garden for a beginner, but I wanted to do it right, and I didn't want to have to add a bunch the next year after I got a little bit of confidence. And I filled that thing to the brim with everything I could think of. I planted so many new things this year that I have never grown before. Last year was my first little taste into gardening, and I grew a couple of butternut squash. I grew a couple of flowers and only a handful of zucchini. It was so tiny. And this year I expanded that to tons of things. And we've been harvesting and cooking with our items all summer long. And now into the fall, we'll start harvesting a couple of things, even though we're getting a little bit of a frost this week. So I think that summer journey of the summer garden's coming to an end, but there's still fall items being grown out there. And I started mostly everything indoors from seed this year, which is something I've never done before. I got the infrastructure, I got the lights, I got the seed starting trays, and I really went for it. I filled up every single tray that I had. I filled up my entire infrastructure with trays and lights, and I'm super proud of myself for that. And I filled the garden with as many seeds as I could because I wanted to make sure or even see that I could provide good food for my family if it's something that I could even do. And I know now that it's something that I can do, and I want to hone in on and make sure that I'm growing the right things and the things that make sense, what worked and what didn't. And I know it's something you develop and hone in on every single year, but I had to start. So I'm super proud of our garden. I'm proud of what we've been able to make from it. And that leads us to cooking. Cooking is something that's been huge in my life this year. I ended up buying this past year some items that have really been game changers for me. There's some pricier items that I just never felt like I needed to splurge on before because I really wasn't cooking all that much. But this year I invested in a Dutch oven, I invested in a KitchenAid mixer, and I invested in an Instant Pot, which has honestly been a huge game changer for me in making quick meals, especially when you're working full time and you have small kids. The Instant Pot has been a really big thing for me. And I'm super happy with those items, and I'm proud of myself for everything that I've cooked. I've cooked full holiday meals from scratch, and I shared that on YouTube, and I really never thought that I would do that. That was such a big undertaking, and I did it completely by myself, whereas holidays, usually you have your whole family there cooking with you. But this year, since we moved to a new place, it was just us for the holidays. So I ended up testing out making everything from scratch, and I'm very proud of myself and how it turned out. And I know quite a few people saw my Thanksgiving video, and that made me super proud. Honestly, it was exhilarating, but it was really scary seeing people watch that, especially because it was only one of the first couple of videos that I ever posted. So I had never done anything like that before. So it was scary, but really exciting as well. And that was really fun to do. So I've been cooking so many things from scratch, building my confidence on getting staples down like broth and making sauces, and no longer using canned foods from the grocery store or processed foods, and learning how to make everything myself. And I feel confident now that I can show other people how to do that. And if I hadn't kept trying to do that week in and week out and practicing and having something to show for it on video, I really don't think that I would have had the motivation to do so. And one big thing that I was really motivated on this year was getting started in sourdough. I made a sourdough starter for the first time. I'm proud of myself that I didn't buy somebody else's and just rehydrate theirs. I really wanted to know if I could do it on my own. That's definitely a really good option, but I just had to see if I could do it on my own, and I did, and it's been doing really well. and I've learned how to make different kinds of sourdough breads. I've made sourdough pizza. I've made lots of bagels and made cinnamon rolls, and there's so much more that I can still learn. But I'm so proud to know that I can do those things, and it's just not something that I would have ever thought to before. But now I know I can do it, and so there's no reason to stop. Last big change that I made this year was I canned stuff for the first time. Canning can be really scary. You don't want to poison your family with botulism and bacteria growing in your food, and it can be really scary. So I started off easy, and I bought the Presto digital canner, which I'm super happy about. I'm sure I will learn how to do stovetop canning in the future, but for right now, I needed something that I didn't need to watch constantly, especially with little ones running around and having on the stove. So I bought the digital one, and I'm super happy about it. And I still have a lot more canning to go. It is a little bit daunting, probably the most daunting thing out of the chickens in the garden and the cooking. I think canning has been the hardest, but I'm proud that I ended up canning some black beans. I ended up doing strawberry jam 2 different times with 2 different recipes. And most recently I've canned beef broth using bones that I bought from our half cow. So I'm excited to try more. I hope that the garden keeps growing in abundance so that I have that abundance to can. The amount that I got from my garden this year would only fill up about 1 jar's worth of food. So I didn't quite have enough to can all of the things that came out of the garden. I did freeze a bunch, but I hope in the future I can maybe source some places in my area that I can start using for canning purposes and putting that food away in my pantry. And I'm just so glad to know that I have that skill now, and I've tried it and I know that I can do it, so I can start putting away that food for my family. And that brings me to branching out in a couple other ways. We ended up buying a deep freezer that's in our basement. We purchased half a cow so that we have meat all the time. That's something that's been really good for my mindset and my heart, is knowing that we have meat in the freezer anytime we need it should anything happen. I'm really happy that we did that, and I know we're going to continue doing that now for the foreseeable future with local farms in our area. So I'm super happy about buying a half cow. I also tried out places like Azure Standard for the first time and buying bulk groceries. That's an experience that I never had before, but I've done it a couple times now, and I'm really happy that I have. And I know now that I can buy things like flour and oats in bulk, and I have bulk storage downstairs in my basement using the big 5-gallon tubs with the gamma lids on them, and I'm happy to have all of that. Now I can make bread for my family anytime I want to and feed them good, nutritious things. So it's been a lot of learning this year, but I honestly really don't think I would have done half of it, not even a fraction, honestly, if I hadn't just started the YouTube channel to motivate myself and keep the pace of once a week videos to make sure that I'm putting something out there, because that means I'm collecting the eggs, I'm taking care of the chickens, I'm building the garden, I'm tending to the garden, I'm cooking the good food for my family, and I'm putting those things in my pantry, and they're all good things for myself and my family. And I hope that by sharing it with people, even though so few people have seen anything I've done, it doesn't matter. If at least one person feels like maybe they could do those things too, then that makes me feel really, really good. So I just want to say I'm so happy to have started, and if you feel like you need some motivation to start as well, it doesn't matter if anyone sees it. This has been good for me and my family, and if that's all it's good for, then that's more than enough. So if that's something that you're interested in doing too, I really encourage you to go ahead and start, because you can only benefit. And I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.